Yo, welcome to episode 2 of Organic Thoughts. Today we're talking about currency and new language. And, your host, Machi Provost.
Okay, we're on Ajaji.
Troy, what's up? What's up, everybody? Back at it.
Yeah, DJ Killer Tech, you already know.
Musical engineer.
Exactly. Sound engineer. This man got everything you need. So,
Camera lady too, we can't.
oh yeah, Kaya, thank you for filming today. We got a real professional in our midst.
Real professional.
I appreciate it. Now, how's the day going, man?
So far, a lot of schoolwork.
A lot of school
A lot of schoolwork.
I feel that.
It's Monday, man.
Tenfold,
Super
right? Y'all got any exams this week, man?
I got an exam tomorrow. That's why I got a lot of schoolwork. But after tomorrow, it's party for the rest of the week.
40 for the rest.
Just kidding, just kidding.
Okay.
Just kidding.
What about you, Troy?
Shoot, no exam. I took care of that last week.
Mm.
Man, this week is looking smooth.
Man, I gotta envy you for a second, man. Only because this man's out of class every day at 10 o'clock.
Yo, I had 8
It was start school like 6 o'clock.
8 o'clock classes. That's it. I gotta wake up 6 o'clock. Get myself ready. Go do some nap at 8 o'clock. You gotta get ready for it. So wake up early.
I feel that this man get the mental ready early in the morning, bro. What about you, Fritz, man?
Right now. The school was smooth,
Okay.
Oh yeah, now I want this man's classes. That's what I need.
For real,
Everything
man.
Irish, I know.
Live that day.
Hey, man. All I know is chemistry is in all walks of life. So right now I'm looking at it in the face, but that shit hit me a couple times. I ain't gonna lie, bro.
I see.
But I'm bouncing back. I got an A on the exam, so we coming back.
How you going, man?
GPA is not gonna take a hit this semester. Actually, it might.
Man, we pray.
I'm sorry, mom and dad, but I'm gonna stay steady with it. But getting into it, guys. First off, we're gonna be talking about with currency and new language. We're gonna be talking about spending, and traditionally, with spending, we're quick with it. Like it's almost like money is hot in our hands. So what I mean by that is, as soon as we earn some money, we want to go ahead and spend it, or go ahead and look to put it somewhere. And oftentimes, it's not put in places where it can help you grow. And by growth, we mean growing the dollar amount as well as growing your knowledge. So when I get that check, am I putting it towards books, or am I putting it towards booze essentially? And I'm appreciate the content went down. We got it back up.
Gucci.
But the first thing to hit on with traditional spending is, how do you value your time? What are some of the main things that we can do, or do y'all think we can do to help value our time more?
Alright, first of all, we have to understand the importance of our time. Because our bosses know the importance of our time. That's why our bosses will pay us for our time. However, we on the other hand don't value the importance of our time. So we sell ourselves short. We know our time is not worth minimum wage.
True.
1 hour of our day is not worth $7.25 or whatever.
Yeah, that's big facts.
However, the bosses, they think they know the worth of our time, but they just say they're not short now. So I'm telling you.
And it's basically set up through system,
True.
federal system, that all the way down to the local system, and that, nationally, they set a minimum wage gap, and then through local business owners, they're able, like Chick-fil-A, for instance, or even Target, not Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
They're raising their minimum wage to like $12 an hour instead of it being $8.50 or that $9. So it's just that there are some entities that know whatever we're doing or we have been doing in the past, we can't do it anymore because these kids are getting a little bit smarter, knowing that, hey, I'm not coming to work for 2 hours making $14 when I can go cut grass for 2 hours and probably make $40, you know what I mean? So there's got to be a way for them to get them back into working in society, essentially.
There's like a lot of money to be made. You just gotta find it. something back to this like entire like self-investment thing.
Yeah.
It's about like sharpening up now and like, you know, seeing what is what and then going at it. You want it, you go search for it, you go put in your time. Back to like knowing yourself, what we discussed about last week. It's all good. So
True.
shit.
And into knowing yourself, that also goes into, you know, focusing your time in on either your craft or your skill. Because if you look at it, a lot of people on YouTube who are perfecting their crafts or perfecting their skills, they're learning how to monetize on it. Like, let's use a real simple person, King Batch. I don't know if y'all seen King Batch before, but you know, he turned from Vine famous to YouTube famous to Instagram famous. Like, they all were succession, but the thing was, he knew how to get himself into a niche of making people laugh and making people enjoy some of the content and, you know, bringing a funny side to things. So certain people who focus in on their craft and their skill and they really focus at it, even like Kobe Bryant, you make them like legends of whatever they're doing. So if you do focus in on your craft and your skill, I think that is how you can help value your time more. And that also leads us into social media, how to, you know, not value your time wisely. Because a lot of times you get stuck scrolling. And I'm not trying to demonize social media at all, because I mean, I use it, but there's a breaking point with it, in that you don't want to overuse it. Because if you end up overusing it, then you stay stuck in one spot. You think you're doing a million things because you're going through your phone, but really you haven't moved at all. You haven't moved the muscle. And it's not like you're making money off of it either. So I think social media could be one of the ways to not to not value your time well.
Yeah.
But then again, I got people there. I got a couple people, but there are people who are making money off of social media too. You know what I mean? They got the blue check by their name. So there are ways that we can value time, but then we have to figure out the balances.
And first of all, too, we have to understand that to value our time, we have to understand how could we value our time, what can we do to value our time.
You know, when it comes down to some time management.
True.
I don't think we manage our time the right and proper way sometimes. We always feel like we don't have enough time, but whereas that's not the case. It's just time management, you know.
So,
No, I was like, you be going throughout the day and you think you got time to do shit.
Yeah.
But then, I'm sorry, bro. Then you get caught up into like doing regular stuff that's not tying into that like uniqueness that you really need to like perfect, so like it can take you to that next level or that next, you know, leap for yourself.
Yeah.
So it's really about like, man, you gotta be hard on yourself at times, but like some of the stuff you get caught up in, you gotta like come in yourself in your own mind and say, okay, we're done with the social media now, we get into this.
Exactly.
You know, or if I'm on social media, this is what I'm doing, boom, 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 boom. Maybe later I have time to go look at, you know, some Kanye pictures or Instagram, you know, Kim Kardashian, scroll through it. Time for that. But like, you know, set up like guidelines on like, your every moves are important. So we gotta start like noticing that, like you were saying earlier, like we're way valuable than a 12-hour, no numbers on it.
What is the difference between, so for instance, somebody making $700 an hour versus me making at $7.25 an hour? It's not like I cannot do what he can. I can do what he can do without a doubt. But why is his hour so valuable? You understand? So we have to strive to be that valuable.
That's true.
So we're not striving to be that valuable. So we're contented with this 1 hour.
Do you think it's because we're lazy, or do you think it's because it's hard for us to find a passion?
I feel like it's motivation nowadays with these kids. They're not motivated anymore, like, you know.
That's true, bro. I feel that.
And can't remember, as we have a problem, our generation also have a problem of not learning from history. We don't learn from history. There's a specific reason why, for instance, the Jews don't want their people to forget their history, because they fear there might be a repeat of it.
True.
So you constantly see movies about it, like how bad it is and and so forth. So they don't want their kids to, or nobody else per se, to forget about what happened to them.
Yeah.
Or they fear to repeat. And let's go into a fun fact. After emancipation, when President Lincoln promised the freed slaves 40 acres of land plus a mule. However, after his assassination, President Andrew Jackson reversed that order. Instead, the freed slaves got a bank, which as we know today was called Freedman Bank.
Hold on, wait. So what goes into that? Like, did they put any money into?
Definitely, the freed slaves at the time were working mainly on farms and so forth. So they had levels of income.
Indentured servants.
Some were indentured servants, but they had some that just came right after slavery ended. They saved about roughly $75 million. However, business management and bank managers did not allow them to receive any loan.
Wow.
No loan, no business loan they had got.
So basically, if them not get loan, the bank manager is basically giving this money to someone else because a bank needed to loan money to make money to keep the bank going. That's how a bank run on interest. So
half of the money got lost. A majority of the money got lost through
We say
bad
hold on,
investment.
okay, bad
That's what they
investment.
say, bad investment.
Okay.
no, I just learned something. I never know about this.
Yeah, through bad investment. Yeah, through bad investment, and the federal bank did not hold anybody accountable at all. The federal bank did not hold anybody accountable.
Man,
Soon came after.
Sorry to cut you off.
Yeah.
They know themselves in 20.
Yo, come on. Soon came after Jim Crow laws.
Yeah.
So, which made land and money even harder to come by for the freed slaves. So I understand that we lack in motivation, yes, but systematically we are not supposed to strive and be better money handlers or money spenders or money receivers or investors per se. Because
true.
systematically the government itself don't put laws and implications in place to ensure that things like that are available for us.
True.
Yeah.
It's like I was talking to my chiropractor and he was dropping some knowledge and he was saying, you know, he really doesn't see himself as a Democrat, and the one reason is, and this is the one reason, but one of the main key reasons are it's because the Democratic Party likes to give the black community handouts, and once you're given handouts, then there is no incentive to work for yourself because you're being given something every step of the way. So when you're given something every step of the way, it draws back the incentive for you to go out and make something for yourself. Because it's like with the food stamps, right? We understand people are in very, very poor situations, right? But if you keep offering somebody a way out and they have to spend it immediately, what's the long-term growth that they're getting? They're not getting any long-term growth because everything that they're doing is immediate. They're living check by check. So with that, the government essentially has found a way to systematically oppress us mentally as well as
us stuff. Imagine they systematically oppress us through giving us stuff.
Exactly. And they hype it up. It's like, oh, it's good. You'll be able to eat. You'll be able to live. But how long will you be able to live and eat off of what you're getting? You know what I mean? Because everything's so immediate. You know what I mean?
Man,
We're
good part about these days is that now we sort of know that. We have information on our hands and we can observe the system and see what exactly is going on. We had an entire debate in political science last week about the two-party system, on like agreeing with it or like disagreeing with it. So, boom, it's like operating as like a surrogate to like its people now. It's trying to like raise you. It's not just, we see that it's not sustainable enough for everybody.
True.
People got different interests in this like this country at least that we're in right now, but it's set up in a way to where, you know, even back then the slaves that were free, they didn't get their entire like, you know, pesos on it.
Yeah.
So it wasn't even set up to like holds you down right there. So now that we have knowledge on that, it's about like, you know, going even like further, and I really think like it's come from inside first. Like you unlock inside, and then you come out now, you observe, and then your uniqueness, your projection on your life, on what you want to be here now, ties into it. And you gotta like study the United States, where you're at, the location as well. So if you're in Europe, you're in the United States, Asia, Africa, observe those situations, how things are running there.
Every
and then
economy
come
is
back at
different.
it. Yeah, every economy is different, and it's important that, you know, once you come out now, you study the system, and then with the currency part, it's about like, you know, building up that yourself, your uniqueness now, because now we see that these days, just like it's vast. There's like billions being invested in like a different type of currency now. They call them the cryptocurrency. So they came in with it now, and they already own it.
Yeah.
Some people are still on the, you know, the EBT.
Yeah.
They already own that shit. So
Yeah.
you don't want to get caught up when it hits like 2025 and they're already sitting comfortable, and then you're out here scratching your head and talking about, yo, what's going on? They already got all the money. The system was working well. They're trading like currency that we don't even see now.
The thing is, we don't see it. The thing is, we see it because we're inside. We see it every day because I can say maybe at least 3 or 4 times a week I'm using Cash App. And Cash App is simply the movement of numbers from one place to another.
Exactly.
Not
Yeah,
even
we don't
film,
have
no
physical
money
physical
transaction.
Exactly. We live in a digital world now.
Yeah.
It's
But
all
we
digital.
can't just sit back and be the sole users of this thing here.
I mean, we gotta. All right. Me feel like said. I see this digital world as an advantage. A lot of people see it as, oh, you know, we going over the money's taking over.
Yeah.
It's an advantage for me. Because as a DJ and I sell audio drops and you know, to people all over and stuff like that. I get my money on cash. It's no Western Union. I get money like I could be laying in my bed and I get paid.
Right, but you know, we're speaking from a business point of view, entity. You yourself is a business entity at the end of the day. We're talking about the person that are being sold the service.
Oh, okay.
You understand? They have to understand that it's not just moving numbers. You have to, how can I take advantage of this? Yeah.
I think a main way to get on that is to open up and have that conversation like we're doing now, because
And also, I don't know if
Go ahead.
it comes to education too, because see, you know you can take advantage of that, and you know that, and Troy know that. What happened to the person who just doesn't have this education? And who's educating that person?
that's true.
Come back to value in your time.
To learn stuff, right? But
Exactly.
But
The time you spend looking at social media,
you could be learning
just look
something,
up
right?
something.
But that's the thing. Like, not everybody is like
True.
us,
Yeah,
and that's
yeah.
where there's a gap in society now. We gotta find a way to feed those people.
We have a social responsibility. And
That's
I
it.
definitely agree with
That's
that.
it. You know, it's
Yeah.
sustainability. You know, that's all social
I like
responsibility.
that.
Yeah.
I like that social responsibility.
Yeah.
In a way, I was gonna say, yo, hopefully they land on one of these videos.
Yeah.
So
Because I think we're laying the groundwork for it.
Yeah.
It's not like we're not. Well, we don't have to give ourselves a pat on the back for what we're doing, because we already know what we're doing.
no.
Well, all
No.
we're saying is that there is a proven way of research will further you. If you do external research, it will further you. If you don't maximize your time, you're only hurting yourself. And so that's the main point of communication that wants to be brought out today, is that if you are spending more of your time on other entities rather than yourself, then you're only hurting yourself in the long-term goal.
Yeah.
So now when we talk about saving
Yeah.
and saving for ourselves, we get into assets versus liabilities. And some of the assets that we can look to are our energy, personal energy, you know, from the food we eat, from the exercise we get, from the meditation that we do, even from the conversation that we hold and some people we surround ourselves with, because they affect our magnetic in our aura.
Yeah.
So when we surround ourselves with the proper
Yeah.
the proper people and the proper, I don't want to say
I feel you, bro.
I don't want to say substances. I was gonna say substances.
Observe it like that. You use it around.
That's true. We might as well just touching these points. Yeah, I mean, don't hold back, man.
Before we even go too far, we have to ensure that the terms assets and liability is correctly being defined. Because
that's
we
right.
today don't know what is assets and
Exactly.
liabilities.
Because people are. Oh, no, I want you to define those right now. 'Cause I feel like.
I can give you a definition, my own definition. I
Alright.
don't know if it's the same thing that's in the textbook.
But see, that's the thing.
But
I like how you got your own.
It overlapping correlate.
Yeah,
Overlapping correlate.
Yeah, you know what I'm trying.
How I view assets in a way that it must be bringing in some level of income
Correct.
constantly.
You're right.
Liability is simply taking money out of your pocket.
Simple.
However, for example, I know like family members, my family members would tell me that their house, for instance, is the asset.
It's an asset.
I cannot see a house
It's
as
not
an
asset. You
asset.
pay mortgage on it. How's it an
I
asset?
cannot see a car, my car as an asset.
It's not a.
Because I am not getting any money from my car. Yeah, so we have to correctly define what are assets and what are liabilities.
So if we could name like 3 of the assets that can affect us immediately, what are some, as us being college students, what are
Yeah.
some of the assets that would affect us immediately?
Right. And well, it depends on if you want to have an asset. Like for example, like
Mr. Engineer right here.
Yeah.
That is his setup right here. I'm telling you, he maybe have made more money to have paid off all his equipment already and is gaining money on that. So there we have income or we gaining equity from what's going on here. So that is definitely an asset for him.
True.
Yeah. So we have to find our little niche and how to get assets, and it's simple. Our energy and how we spend our time is
Yep.
asset.
exactly.
Yeah,
And sometimes we can't really point out for college student because as a college student, it's kind of hard to get like
Yeah.
money making asset. But as long as you know this information, so when you get this real world and you graduate and you start making money, you start putting your money where
That is a
you're
very
making
important
money
point.
from your money.
Because I've
Yeah,
seen
but
people
I'd have to
yeah.
say we can't say wait till the real world because when we wait sometimes
That's
we
true.
go, yeah.
That's
So
true.
so go ahead.
But think about those kids on campus right there. Literally, campus is their world. Like,
Yeah.
that's what I think. That's what I'm referring to. Like,
Yeah.
I get you. I
like
get
me
you. I
and
get
you is
you.
not really. We go to college, but we kind of we like
Yeah.
we working, we go to school. We already in the
Yeah.
real world. We just doing both things. But you got students that's like not even working. They just going to class, go to the cab.
Hey,
Hey,
what
yeah,
time weeds dropping tonight?
Hold on, it's funny because I was having a conversation with a young queen today, a young queen press today. And I said, she said to me that Dave, I don't know, she came in with a different hairstyle today.
Okay.
And I said, wonderful hairstyle, I like it.
Yeah.
And she said, yeah, I spend so much time. I said, oh yeah, how long do you spend taking care of yourself? She said, if she have a 10 o'clock class,
Yeah.
she get up from 6. She said she get up from 6, 7 o'clock,
Wow.
and she ensure that she does her hair, does this, and I said, listen to me, that is total madness. There's no way you can get up at 7 o'clock just because you need to get ready for one class.
No, wait.
To do your hair, you take 1 hour to shower, 1 hour to do your hair.
I get you.
Obviously, don't value the time.
Exactly. I know. Now it comes on at the time management because now that same person will complain and say, I don't have time to do this. I don't have time to do this. All you gotta is take away 2 hours from doing your makeup and your hair, and there it goes fine right there.
But we gotta acknowledge the
Different
self.
field though. Different field.
Yeah, it's a whole different self-investment though. Because we got wait. I don't care if you wanna jump in here because I want you to speak. I don't want to speak on the behalf of women
Yeah.
like all the way totally, but I do know that it's like I don't want to say I do know. But
You know,
I have
I'm in the country,
knowledge.
but you got some men too that takes forever. So.
Ooh,
Say to everybody. Say to everybody. Not
Okay,
just women.
okay. People have a need for self-investment. You know what I mean? So sometimes that self-investment might come from feeling good and how you get to
That is
feel
what she was trying to tell me to do.
Feel good.
Because she feels good when she
Look good,
she
yeah,
feels
yeah,
good.
okay,
Yeah,
okay.
that's what she was telling me.
Watch.
Exactly.
But look at this now, right? Okay, she look good, she
Yeah.
feel good, right? So all that feel good energy, what is she doing with that energy now?
She might go in class and get an A on this next exam. You know.
All right,
But I'm saying what I said to her was
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
for example, you say for instance on Monday, you get up that time, get your hair done, versus what about a day when you get up late and you have to rush everything?
Oh.
How is your day in comparison to when you get up early and do it? And you say, there's not much of a difference. And I say, so why are you spending so much time then?
okay.
So if there is not much of a difference when you
Okay.
hurry to do everything and go to class and you still do whatever you need
So
to
you
do.
just have a reminder of a natural beauty.
I mean, and that's however she had the natural beauty, but she ended up putting some braids and some other stuff. That's what she did. Yeah. And I said, what is wrong with your natural hair? And that is how the conversation started.
That's a big
That's a
thing.
very good point too,
Yeah.
because nowadays, I mean, most ladies, you know, I like the natural. I'm a natural guy.
Listen, no matter how much you like it, men do things to impress females. Females do things to impress males.
Oh.
And what is happening with males today? They are so fascinated with the long straight hair and this and that. That the females have, if they haven't brought up in a home to embrace your beauty, they're going to try to please the males outside.
I
And
think
the
it's a
males don't want to
misconception,
see
though.
natural beauty. They just have to go along with it.
Okay, you don't think it's a misconception? Because I can tell you right now.
Yeah.
I know that you like natural girls, right? But I also know that you like girls that look good and the models and all that.
Yeah,
But I know
yeah.
for a fact, as a friend of you, you would not want a girl like that.
Right.
You know what I'm trying to say?
So
But not,
yeah, for my, if for instance my sister, I would raise my sister and I say, hey, this is what I would want you to do, but that's not my, but with what she wants to do, or what her boyfriend at the time might want to see.
that's true.
Yeah.
Do y'all? Well, when we look at industry though,
Mm.
and how industry projects what the perfect woman should look like, or what the perfect man should look like, it's also like an illusion, basically.
It is a
You know,
social media and all that.
artificial.
Exactly. Well, we're gonna get on some
These
artificial.
TV shows. Kim Kardashian, Khloe Kardashian.
That's
No, what I learned though, it's like we keep demonizing a lot of shit. But I have a little sister as well. She put on her makeup. She does her girly thing, and she also has like a natural side, and she's perfectly fine with it too. Sometimes she go out natural. Sometimes she come out makeup, and I was like, nah, don't do this. Don't put on your makeup. She's like, nah, I just really feeling this today.
Yeah.
So, but honestly though, like yeah, the artificial stuff is like with us inside too, trying to like brush too much on the outside.
Listen, I'm not saying I have a problem with females doing that. Listen to me. Why do we go to the barber and cut her hair and we do all kinds of
Yeah,
stuff?
right,
You know what I mean?
hey.
So we're not going to demonize the females and then not demonize ourselves. But I don't have a problem with it. But at the end of the day, I want you to have an understanding and know that your natural beauty is your natural beauty. So if you have that understanding, but you still go ahead and do what you want to do, I don't have a problem with that.
And
But
a lot
it's
of
the case
girls-
that you don't have no understanding of
And that's
your
the case
natural
today.
beauty,
And I feel like
you're
that's
just
the case.
forcing yourself to be what the society portrays what a beautiful woman to be. It
And that's
makes
the
no
case. I mean,
sense.
and that's what I mean. I agree with you because that's the case. I mean, they want to look good and all that, but I don't think they understand how beautiful they are without
Yeah.
all
Yeah,
that weave and
it's
stuff.
crazy.
The people we don't want to drift too
Nah.
far from the country.
Ah,
But
yeah,
it's just natural. It's just natural.
We only had 30 minutes, so.
It's aggressive. The system's
Okay, good talk.
But I mean, it does fall into what we're talking about with saving, because when you learn how to save time for yourself, you can also learn how to reinvest it.
That is true.
And with the investment of your time, like when you were having a conversation with the young queen today, it's okay, since you know it's not too much of a difference, how do you think you can invest that time otherwise in the morning?
True.
You know, how do you think you can invest that time in, I don't know, maybe studying stocks,
Yeah.
or maybe even studying up for your classes, or just doing external research?
Yeah.
broader like growth. You're like bigger than all this. So like take in and like even with like the keening on like health and like self-investment, the food you eat, yeah, that ties into all of that.
Yeah.
It's like fuel for your consciousness. If
Yep.
if you're putting in like weak shit, you're gonna expect like the result is not gonna be compared to what the IBM CEOs eat.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So it's a different like processing language for your spirit, even in that way.
Yeah.
And we need to get on that, especially the youth, because the system, we know that they don't want us to even like exceed some of our like goals and stuff like that. Because we can really like, man, I see this world sometimes, I be like scratching my head, making some observations, and I'm like, yo, if we really get to this, we can like really flip this thing around.
To feed off that trend,
Yeah.
basically they don't want us to move from being the consumers because we are living in a capitalistic construct, whether we like it or not. And capitalist needs the consumers.
Yeah.
Mental upliftment will not help the capitalists.
Right.
You understand? So they are going to do everything to keep down the consumers in the specific area where they are. So we have to uplift ourselves beyond that, and it takes the knowledge to really do
mental freedom, and it's something that Kanye hit on a little bit too, and he didn't fully portray himself well, but when he was speaking on mental slavery, it is something that is real. We're holding ourselves back, and the only way that we recognize it is when we put the time and effort in to get a better outcome than what we had before.
True.
You know what I mean? Because the amount that you invest it'll lead to the outcome. You know what I mean? It's kind of like equilibrium. You know what I mean? If you have, I ain't really gonna get too. I was about to go back to chemistry class, man. But it's equilibrium in that if I put enough effort in going onto the soccer field every day, right? I go an hour and a half a day. I'm running sprints. I'm juggling. I'm physically doing push-ups, sit-ups, and I'm doing turns on the ball. Rather than, okay, I go out for 15 minutes, touch the ball 3 times, take a couple shots to hit it over the goal, and I think I'm messing. You know what I mean? The amount of work that I'm putting in is not gonna equate to what I'm showing on the field when it's game day. You know what I mean? Like I have to put in the work in order to get a considerable outcome or an efficient outcome.
And the thing is, we have the knowledge, we are capable of doing that because, for instance, I know a lot of people, car owners, they have maybe BMWs, they have top end cars. They would not put, say for instance, 87 gas in the car. If they ensure that they put in 90 and above, that's what the money will say is what they do. Premium gas.
That's true.
But still, we have to go ahead and equate this to how we treat ourselves financially and everything.
Health-wise, everything.
Yeah. We can't just separate. We have to understand not to do this to our cars. Or we're not going to smoke in our cars. Or we're not going to put that gas in our car because this might be the outcome. At the end of the day, if you feed yourself or you don't feed yourself with the right knowledge, or for instance, how to use money, but ultimately spending money, you look at the television and show you how to advertise. They always advertise it, so it's not when there's enough advertisement to fill your belly to go to your belly.
That's true.
So if you continuously feed your mind with that, what outcome do you expect? You put 87 in the car is not going to start.
And that's the same thing we touched on last podcast about you put in something, you're going to get out. You know? Anything you put in, that's what you're going to get out. I mean, it's a law of attraction. I believe in that because I'm a little witness to that. You know?
Yes. Manifestation.
Exactly. You know?
I feel that. So when it comes to spending, when it comes to spending, and where we now know that we need to save before we spend, and when the time comes, what should we invest in? And some of the new things, or one of the things that I like to say to invest in is stock.
No, but see, that's tricky now because everybody's different. I feel like when it comes to investing, you find something that you know, find something that you understand. Like I understand, I understand how the music business works, so I'll invest in the music business. I don't understand how gas and gold and all that fluctuate in the market, so I would not touch that. I would do my research and educate myself first. But the goal of investing is always invest in what you know, what you love.
Well, the reason I say stocks is because when we were going back to assets, we were speaking on monetizing.
Okay.
And so we can, like, if we do perfect our craft, we can monetize on it. You are correct.
Yeah.
But one thing that is keeping our community down is the fact that we don't understand money to its fullest extent. And
The
so
school
stop.
don't even
That's
teach
true.
us how to use
Exactly.
money.
That's true.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Unless you're an economics major, unless you're a finance major,
That's true.
or something like that.
Finance and economic major will still come out poor
Yeah,
people.
yeah,
And
yeah.
they still broke. So
Exactly.
what is in the textbook is not teaching them how to use money.
You know, sometimes we can't. Sometimes we gotta blame ourselves too,
Yeah, yeah.
because we got some teachers that give us a little juice on the side.
Yeah.
And we don't even pay attention. I'm
Yeah,
guilty
yeah.
of that too. So,
Yeah.
I mean, the school system is bad, but there's a few people in the school system that's really out here to help us and put us on the right foot. So we just gotta pay attention to them.
Yo, that investment thing though, is like, you gotta come back to yourself, bro.
Yeah.
You gotta know what you're doing out here, what are your motives, what you know really, and then you got a chunk of money coming in now. Alright, know where to park that, and know how to invest in like yourself sort of. Because if you give it back to, you know, my boys on Wall Street, they can come out next week and say, yeah, it crashed.
Exactly.
We lost the money.
That's very true.
The bank over there,
Okay, that's
Switzerland doing this, blah blah blah. Then your shit's out there in the void.
And also, one of the next thing about investing in, you gotta figure out if you're an aggressive investor or you a chill, laid back person. Because there's different
Yeah.
ways other than in stock. I mean, there's aggressive, like, you know, buy and sell today. Or there's ETFs where you put your money down for a long time, 401k. It's different.
You got
steady
bonds.
Bonds is one of the safest ways because, I mean, you're gonna get a set money. You know you're gonna get that money in the future or whatnot.
Yeah.
So it all depends on how safe you wanna be or how risky you wanna be. I feel, you know,
I'll add in this just like because we said like crypto earlier and like stocks. Easy thing to understand right now is like the crypto verse, like the world of cryptocurrency now. Put in money on it. Just know that it's not like the stock market. You're just like really investing in like these coins that are like assets to some of these companies like IBMs and are producing like softwares and stuff like that for your computer or your cloud. So you're investing in that, and basically all that money is just going into that new system now.
that's true.
So you know that, and the thing with it is you can get it out like quick just like that. With Cash App now, there's like, if you notice, there's like a little click thing you can click and it says BTC, that's Bitcoins. So you can add in money on Bitcoins and you already got your currency sitting there, parking there. You can get it out whenever you want. It's virtual. You can go to the bank as well. You probably gotta like fill out a little form, get your money out. However, though, it's not like Wall Street saying that, all right, I'm putting my money in Apple right now, and then I hope you guys do good.
Yeah, but one thing about cryptocurrency is the federal is trying to figure out how to put a hold on this shit. And the one reason they're doing that is because they can't control it.
Right.
They're still trying to figure it out. So when we say it's easy, yes, it's easy
You
to
said now.
get to it.
Like
It's,
now.
it's easy to access. But to understand it and to understand how to make it domestic in a way, or how to make it beneficial to the entire country, that is something that's being looked upon. And the Federal Reserve they're one of the main people who are investigating cryptocurrency, saying, how do we make this ours? How do we make this a part of our system to monetize on our gains? And
I think it's not even like making it part of the system. I feel like they're trying to find a way how to control it.
exactly, making it part of their system.
Regardless,
Like that.
one thing we cannot lose from now, the history has shown us and taught us, is that anybody that has land has power. So
I
that's
feel
why
like-
sometimes I wonder how that I tell you that people that don't have an understanding of money, it is almost detrimental to don't know how to use money, because lottery winners have been broke.
Yeah.
Lottery winner win $1 million and within 2 weeks time they're broke.
That's
They
like
don't
perfect.
understand money.
I feel
So
like
might
now-
as well invest in houses and land, because that is one of the most secure way.
Secure.
Always appreciates
Yeah.
if you do enough research and find
The right
what
neighborhood.
area, where near.
Even if it depreciate,
Yeah.
it's a high chance if it
Yeah,
goes back
but
again.
no,
This is
yeah.
what I'm trying to say. So you're right. Land, real estate, you're right.
More
Secure.
Yo, Africa's the future.
Always. I mean, that's
They
all.
out there.
Yeah. Yeah. Most definitely.
Based on like what the children are doing right now on the earth, all over, they're paying attention to the continent.
Exactly.
You know, and they want to like
Oh,
China stuff.
China is paying a lot of attention to Africa right
They
now.
are. We need to deny them and take it back.
Exactly.
And now we're not even realizing now, all China is doing is like they're seeing the value of Africa now, so now they want to jump in. Now as a people now, we got to come together
Yeah.
some way, somehow, and like stick to ourselves and do it without help from, because once China get involved, we don't own it no more. I'm sorry, that's
Just
True.
we're always at least 3-4 steps ahead of everybody else in the world. And I just see China making moves and Africa.
It
goes
denied.
so-
something is there. I mean, because the phone badges or
Yeah,
automated
yeah,
phone, those stuff are becoming more valuable. And It's a high market for those. So I mean, it's resourceful.
Yeah.
And you know how this, you know, a lot of resources are being depreciated. So Africa is the place to be right now. Because the next 20 years, all the resources going in Africa.
It's gonna be a lot hella different on Earth in the next 20 years.
Very
That's
different.
facts. That's facts. I know Akon was talking about building, advanced societies in Africa. And Akon was like, if every black person in America takes their money right now and invests it in Africa, they can be multimillionaires. And I don't want to go into the backstory of how you can become multimillionaire, because for one, I don't even know how to become multimillionaire.
That's true.
So for me to go out here and say it can't happen is false claiming, but there is somebody who's doing it that's saying, hey, this is a way out if you want to open up your mind and accept it.
We tend to be too selfish though. And I tell you why we tend to be too selfish. Because we don't practice or have an understanding of generation wealth. Generation wealth is very important. Plant the seed now. So the next 20 years, 40 years, 50 years, your offspring can receive the shade from the tree.
Yep.
You know,
I feel that.
That's crazy. 'Cause a lot of people don't even think like that. And
That's the thing. That's
And
what I
that's
say. We have a selfish style of thinking.
well, I feel like it's more like how the world is set now as a culture. Like we're not thinking for the future no more. Like, everything's just now. Today we get just like how we get this money, we spend it. We're not thinking about tomorrow or next week. You know, that it comes down to those basics.
Come back down to generation wealth too, because if our parents were informed enough, because I know, for instance, if my mother or father, they show me so much love that if they knew what generation wealth consisted of, they would have said, listen to me now, Dave. See, it's a business book, study this, study that. But they really and truly never had the knowledge. So now we have the knowledge now, we have to create that shade by planting the seed.
Yeah.
To grow to a tree for offspring.
So how do we create that mental real estate?
We're doing it right now, believe it or not. You just don't realize it. Hey, it's baby stuff. Now, hey, you gotta creep before you walk, you know? So just by us having this conversation, I'm learning from Dave, I'm learning from you, we learn from each other. That's how we do it. We gotta share information, because at the end of the day, information is power, you know what I'm trying to say?
That's facts.
If you don't know how to do something, it's stuck.
That's true. So that gets into ties us all the way back to personal investing.
It's a
information.
whole cycle.
That's right.
We cannot try to break life down like that.
Yeah,
Life is a
this
cycle. And once we understand that, we'll proceed.
True.
I understand. Yes, wonderful.
I say the entire storyline is about you at the end of the day. Somehow. So, self-investment, look back on yourself, go deep in there. But yo, mention about like the meditations. You gotta like spend time with yourself. They mentioned it like last podcast, spend time with yourself. Spending time with yourself, you opening up like sides of yourself you've never seen before. You putting like, you even going into the future now, how you wanna like set up yourself and grounds and stuff like that. And for your offspring, I'm 22 right now and I'm having thoughts about like, alright, my kids, it's gonna be like this, boom, 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 boom.
That's what I say to people. The thing is, I don't know if y'all ever played Sims, but when you play Sims, you don't play Sims and live in that impoverished area or whatever. You strive for better, so we have that natural instinct to strive for
Everybody wants
better.
better. Everybody wants better.
It's kind of like GTA 2, but without the violence.
But the issue is some people just don't know how.
Yeah.
Like transform that
I tell
motivation.
you, give them Sims and see if they're poor. I tell you, they will have a nice family with a nice house, two cars,
big garage.
I tell you, we have that natural instinct to go forward.
I feel it. So I want to just list 3 key points for some of the listeners and the viewers to go home with today for the personal investing, and that is the health in your food.
Yeah.
Physically, what are you doing to your body and how are you taking care of your body?
Yeah.
Secondly, your energy, your magnetic ley line. Troy hit on that a little bit last episode, in that your aura is affected by other individuals and by the things that you surround yourself with. So if you are introducing a negative side to that aura, then it's getting smaller and smaller, and now certain things are able to creep inside and touch your soul in a way.
Yeah.
So from there, we go into the personal energy field, which is kind of like the magnetic ley line as well, in that it's a presence that surrounds you, and by you taking care of your body physically and mentally, then it'll produce a bigger aura, a bigger energy field for yourself, and it'll help you to manifest and law of attraction. You know,
That's what it comes
Yo.
down to, man.
Kundalini right there. We got Kundalini on the board.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
charging up your aura. You're naturally attracting.
where's your Kundalini come from?
So it's not, you're not gonna open up your body and like pull out the Kundalini. It's like a force. You know, it's a force that awakens inside of you. Like you keying on your spirit. It's not necessarily the spirit, but it is a force that power ups like your body, your consciousness, and the rest of the things that tie into the body and earth. It's some deep stuff, but you can get like a sheer understanding of it, that you got something in there that if you awaken it at some level, you know, you start attracting. It can be like the currency now. So your aura, if your aura is out here, you know, you're doing some lovely stuff, you're gonna get some lovely income back. There's just universal law and universal codes is in it.
Yeah.
Closing thoughts from Al-Kebul and Ajaji. Plant that seed and create that generation. Well, let your kids and your offsprings get that shade from the tree.
There you go. There you go. Fritz.
Closing thoughts, all comes down to the law of attraction. Within, you know what you're going to get out. You want to not work hard, you're not going to get nothing in life. That's it. And educate yourself. You put your knowledge in your brain, you do more stuff, you know?
Most definitely.
George.
Power up.
Hey.
Power up. It's not time to play.
No sound.
It's not time to get caught slipping. You don't want to get caught slipping, and you know, power up. That's all I gotta say. And I'm gonna hold myself accountable as well. I'm gonna watch this video like a couple of months and see if I really powered up myself.
Yeah, but I
So
and I also think, well, for me, self-awareness. This man got the bottom black line. Yeah, man. But for me, self-awareness.
Yeah.
Because knowing yourself, it also helps into what you want to invest in. It'll help bring that broad view into a smaller nucleus to where you can focus on only the things that you want to put in scope. Exactly. And you cut out all the negatives that are not helping you. So that's episode 2, guys. I thank y'all for tuning in to Organic Thoughts. Thank you again, Kai, for filming, and we're out.
You was the engineer going to find him.